104.3 MYfm. It's Jon Comouche and the boys from Nightly are joining us in the studio today.
What's
Guys,
up?
Thanks for making some time to stop in. I know you're busy on tour right now.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us, man.
No, I appreciate you guys. I was just talking to you off the air a few minutes ago. I know you guys got in at like 2 a.m. last night. Didn't really get much sleep. You're up early this morning. Like, it's just a grind every day, I feel like, huh?
You know, it's not like that every day, but I feel like LA is a little more going on in LA for sure. And we were talking about off air, we had a problem with our bus, so we're like, for the first half of the tour, we're in a Sprinter, so it means you can't really sleep on it. So it's a little less sleep, but it's all good. Happy to be here nonetheless.
Our crew's amazing.
Yeah, the good vibe.
Yeah, we're making the best of it. We're having a blast.
Dude, I feel like every time I talk to somebody on tour, there's always like a problem somewhere. Like it's always like a tour bus problem, or like, is that part of touring? It just, you expect things to go wrong?
Breaks left and right, no matter what, because you're just hauling stuff, and
3/4 of touring is just problem solving.
You gotta think it's just bouncing around in a trailer
in the
going
trailer
70 miles an hour, you know, up and down the mountains, so stuff just breaks.
You said right now you're in a Sprinter van?
Yeah, and then we also have a truck that's like towing all of our gear.
Like just a legit pickup truck? Like
a
it's big,
it's
though.
a dually,
It's
though.
big.
It's a big boy,
truck. Gas
So
mileage is not great.
Our stage manager ended up just driving that car, so he just got another job.
At this point, are you normally in a tour bus?
Yeah, last tour was like our first tour doing that, and this one was supposed to be our second. So
Does it feel sick, like upgrading to finally a tour bus, and you're like, yo?
Definitely.
yeah, it's super nice.
It's way easier to just finish the show and then fall asleep and wake up at the next place. But also, it's kind of nice to just be back on the road with the boys. You know,
it's nice to like.
I don't know.
I remember the one tour with our manager. It was like her first kind of like van tour, and like we were driving through or like out of Seattle or into Seattle. She was like, "Oh man, this is like so beautiful." Like I usually like never experience this because like they were always in a bus for like other artists and stuff. And it's like, dude, that's what we've seen every like part of the country because we've always been in a van. So
do you get to enjoy some of it though, or is it always just on the go?
You get to definitely enjoy it more when you're on a bus because it drives overnight. You sleep, you wake up at whatever time, and then you're there, and you have 3-4 hours before sound check load in. So like that's kind of your explore time. But now in the Sprinter, it's not that way because you're sleeping. We get to the hotel 2 a.m. and then a lot of times you have to leave at like 8 or 9 a.m.
Yeah, bed in a Sprinter, those do not recline.
No.
Not at all.
Very stiff.
But it's a lot of just fun times together, and I don't know. Like going into the tour, I was like, oh man, it's gonna be so hard going back to a van. But now I'm just like, it's kind of dope.
It's part of it.
Everyone
You
hanging
get
out.
to hit
and,
like gas stations and
Yeah.
weird stuff that you wouldn't normally. You know, everybody can just pull over and buy like a, crystallized scorpion at like a gas station in Texas or something.
we did see a parrot. We saw a parrot.
Oh yeah,
yesterday.
dude, a guy walking around outside with just a giant parrot on his
At a
shoulder.
gas
Just
station.
straight up,
Huge.
just some
And
dude
the,
with a parrot.
and the
Yeah.
the
Like
parrot
Twizzlers or
waves.
something.
Like people are like, "Can I take a picture?" And he's like, "Yeah." He said, "Say hi," and the parrot goes, "Hi."
Wait, where was this?
At a gas. I don't
a gas
know.
station in the middle of nowhere.
Southern
Yeah.
California, like right when you
Yeah.
cross in from Arizona.
Yeah,
somewhere.
Real
It was
deserty.
wild, dude. You don't see that kind of stuff on a tour
Yeah.
bus.
You gotta like entertain yourself out there. So here, I'm going to you guys' show tonight here in LA. It's Friday the 13th, which is kind of spooky in October. I also noticed you guys you don't have any tour dates on actual Halloween. Like, do you make plans for
know.
Halloween?
We usually do,
We usually,
but
for the most part we do. But last tour we also were off Halloween.
I
We
know,
had like
it's
a little
crazy.
break.
I love Halloween
Yeah,
shows
Halloween's
though
the
because
best, dude.
everybody dresses up.
Do they actually?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We dressed up
have in
as
the past.
old people one time.
that was fun.
We did
Oh,
old
sick.
people. We did like
We did like 1920s people in jail with like the
Yeah, like the
stripe
stripes,
things,
the striped jumpers or whatever.
it was a very limited stock by the time we went
Yeah.
to like get our costumes. It was like the day of. So
But we did
usually,
go all as Guy Fieri.
Yeah, we were in
No,
LA.
all you
Yeah.
guys?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like our patron saint of the band.
He's everybody's patron saint.
Yeah.
I feel
Just
like.
love that guy.
He's the man.
Basically, we're just touring Flavortown at this point, you know.
So do you guys have like a costume picked out for this year?
No,
No,
not yet.
I don't yet.
No, I
I
don't.
don't know what we're
Yeah,
gonna
'cause
do.
We don't have a
might
show.
be sleeping. Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't have a show. We have like a week off in between the first and second half. So I'm sure we'll do something.
Have you guys ever done like the Friday the 13th like tattoo discounts?
Flash.
We
Yeah,
want
we're
to.
just
Yeah.
talking about this.
We have. I haven't, but I would love to.
Yeah.
Our photographer
Yeah.
has done it. And a bunch of the people in the crew were like, we should try and find a place if we have time.
So
But
do you get to pick your design when you do that, or you kind of just show up and
I think
it's
you
yeah,
have
it's
to
just
pick from the
it's like
Yeah.
maybe like 10, 12 different options, and you can pick any of those, and it'll be like one price for like whatever it is.
Have you ever gone in not knowing what tattoo you're about to get?
Almost every time.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I
With
literally just went like
The
the other
exception
day.
of like 1 or 2 of mine, all of them were just like you show up and you're like, oh, that'd be cool to do that.
What's like the first one you got though?
This is my first one.
This one right here?
Yeah.
That's actually interesting. I feel like so I've always wanted a tattoo. I haven't been able to make the jump to actually do it, but I've always like had this idea of like wanting a sleeve that's literally staff music like wrapped around your arm.
There you go.
Like, that's so
cool.
sick. I had
Yeah.
that exact.
There's your inspo. Right
Yeah,
there.
it's so dope. I think it looks sick.
Mine was this like little pinky heart because I didn't know what I wanted, and I was
So
like, I want
small.
something
Something
small.
small.
Yeah, and it
Mine
was
was
like a
this one.
fan that did it. Like, so I was like,
Did your parents care at all back then?
nah, not really.
My first one, my grandparents were real upset at me, but they got over it, I guess.
Yeah, they always get over.
What
it.
was your first one?
This one? I think
Yeah,
I
nice.
have 2 dates, but
Wait, John, you're Italian, right?
Yeah, we all
We're all
are.
Italian.
Oh, all you guys? Oh,
Yeah.
me too.
He's,
Hell yeah.
he's half.
I'm half Puerto Rican, half
Yeah,
Italian.
yeah, but we're cousins.
Yeah.
On the Italian
are
side.
you Italian?
Yeah, I am. Comouche is my last name.
Ah,
My
Comouche.
grandparents are-
Nice.
Let's go, yeah. Wait, that's so
That's
sick.
amore.
And you go
What's the best Italian food in LA? Though?
okay, so
We'll tell you.
I'm from Orange County, which is like an hour outside LA.
yeah.
We got this Italian pizza spot. It's called Fuoco. And it's like one of those places where they don't even slice the pizza because like it's like Italians don't slice their pizza in Italy, apparently. You know what I mean? So like they got those authentic Italian pizzas.
Mm,
I go there at least once a week. It
Love
is
that.
amazing.
Dude.
that sounds good.
Yeah, that sounds. I see. I haven't actually talked to any Italians about like the real spots because we know like John and Vinny's,
Yeah,
like the stuff
John
that
and
like,
Vinny's.
like
Nice
people,
guy.
nice guy. But no one's like said like this is like the spot. That's
Spot.
like,
I feel like there's got to be just like a
low-key
hole in
spot.
the wall somewhere that's just so fire.
Dude, when I lived here, I used to always go to Michelli's.
Ooh,
I think that's how you
see?
say it, Michelli's or Michelli's.
I don't think I know it.
There's one in the Valley and there's one in Hollywood.
Okay,
But-
okay.
All right, I'm
They
in.
used to have really good pizza. But
I
this
think we
was
should
also
go,
like,
man. Because
yeah.
like I feel like I don't really get to go out in LA much because I live so far outside. It's such a commute.
Yeah.
It's just like a mission to stay out here. That like
You have
when
to
work's-
drive in here every day.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Do you guys live? So you live in Nashville?
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you commute inside of Nashville, or are you like in the city?
I live in the city, and
Yeah, I
Joe,
live, like-
we're
We're all,
kind of
like, on
like
the east side.
working,
Yeah.
like out towards the east side. So Joe's is like in the middle. So we usually work there. So we'll just like Nick and I will just
Yeah.
drive there.
So long commute for me in the mornings from the kitchen to the basement, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Dude, Nashville just feels like the best city to live in. I visited
it
one
is.
time, and
Love
there's
it,
just
yeah.
like I think I was getting lunch on a Tuesday at 1 p.m. and there's just straight up live music everywhere
bro,
you go.
straight up,
Yeah,
dude. When
if
we
you
first
love
moved down
music,
here, moved down there, like we went to like Broadway, like on like a Tuesday at 12 noon, and like walked in and.
It's
As a
cracking.
guitar player, I was just like walked in. I was like, "This is the best guitar player I've ever heard in my life. Like, what am I doing here? Like, this is crazy. This is the Tuesday at noon guy playing. It's crazy. The talent there is just unbelievable."
Is that intimidating when you're out there as a band, or is it like inspiring?
I think just like a little bit of both,
Yeah.
you know. I think especially in the songwriting community, it just makes you, if you want to learn, you can become so much better, and like
Definitely.
if you get involved in that community. So it's definitely a little intimidating at first when you're like, wow, these people are so much better, but everybody's
it's a very
pretty
collaborative
yeah.
community though, which is amazing. I think
Yeah.
that's like really special about Nashville is that like everyone's down to like try or like
Really?
yeah, it's awesome. That's like, I mean, we love working out in LA too. It's just that's the biggest difference to me in terms of like being a producer or like writing songs is that like everyone in Nashville is always just like, yeah, bring someone else in. Who cares? Or like, let's try this. No big deal. It's
It's
fun.
like an inviting music
Yeah.
environment.
Definitely.
That's sick. So let's get into the music for a minute, because Wear Your Heart Out is just a smashing album. Like, love it.
Thank you.
And that's cool too, because I got a poster from Night Love You, your last album. It's in my room. Like I literally have a poster of your last album's
Oh,
art.
no way.
Amazing.
Because I got
That's
a few like
awesome.
posters of album art in there, and I just like was so into that album. And then this new one came out. It was amazing. Like it exceeded all my expectations. Like what was your plan going into this album to make it different?
So it was obviously a weird couple of years because our Night Love You came out in 2020, you know, pandemic and stuff. So we were off the road for a long time. We didn't really get to tour that album. And then we really got back out on the road last year for the most part. And we did a couple of support runs and then some headline shows. And so that was like our first time. But even at that point, we had released a bunch of singles. So I think after all that touring, we sort of knew, okay, we kind of want to elevate it in this way that's more meant to play live as opposed to the debut album, which we kind of just made and we had a great time making it. But once we started playing those songs, we were like, okay, we're missing like some energy for the live show. So that was a really big theme for us, was just like more energy, live feeling stuff. And that was just sort of, yeah, I think like what started us on the path of the second album.
We kind of went back to like the garage band mentality of like, we would all get in the studio, plug in a bunch of instruments, and like all just start jamming. So like, you know, Nick would be playing guitar, John would be playing piano, and I would be playing like drums on a keyboard or something, and we would like be like, "Oh, that's actually sick!" Like
the real life TikToks you guys make, just that's actually how you practice.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
so
definitely.
it kind of like turned into we wrote "Wear Your Heart Out." That song was the first song we wrote for the album, and we were like, "This feels really cool and like elevated, and like it's gonna be amazing live. So like, let's just make an album that feels like this."
Dude, I feel that too, because there are some of these songs, like especially Shirt or Love Somebody, and I hear those and I'm just like, I'll buy the ticket right now. Like, I gotta hear this live. Like, there's something about it with some of your guys' songs that like when you hear it and you see it on the stage, like it gives you some kind of like euphoric feeling that I feel like is different. I think that's what's cool about your music.
Dude, thank you
you
so
so much.
much, man.
When did you like, what is it about your sound that you personally love? Like when you landed on this and you listen back to your tracks, like what is it that you're like, yeah, this is us, like this feels right?
I think it's just that it's kind of, you know, being in a band is different from, you know, maybe being a solo artist or whatever. It's sort of all three of us together is greater than, you know, any one of us.
You got a lot of tour stuff in here.
Than any like one of us, you know, and it's just kind of like its own unique recipe or whatever. So that's what I love about it, and that's what I've loved about all the bands that I love, you know, whether it's the Killers, Chili Peppers, Coldplay, U2, whatever it is, the band, it's like the guitarist, the drummer, the singer, like when they come together, just make something special. And so this, I think, the more music we make, we're trying to get closer and closer to that refined like thing of like what makes us. It's almost like stripping some more stuff away to just let kind of the personality of the guitar and the drums and the vocals like shine more, you know, because I think if any of us were in a different band, like it would sound so different because of those ingredients, you know. So that's when I listen back, I'm like, oh, I can hear each, you know, I'm starting to be able to hear each person in this song, you know, and I love that.
So is that what you hope people get when they come and buy tickets and come to your show? Like, do you hope that they get that feeling just from the crowd? Like, what should we expect from this tour?
That's a great question.
Yeah, I think it's been amazing so far. We've done 4 or 5 shows. I think yesterday was the 5th show. And each night has been like so awesome because, again, when we made this album, you know, when you make an album and then it's done, you kind of just are sitting, because we probably finished it in like May or something, and then you're just sitting for a few months. Obviously, we're shooting videos, like promoting it and like announce the tour, but it wasn't really until the first show that it like came to life. So it's been really cool to see what the songs mean to people in the crowd, you know, and each person has a different, you know, favorite, or like maybe a different city, a different song goes off, but it's super high energy, and the production, we took a long time designing that, so it's very interactive with the crowd. So I don't know, we just try and have a good time every
It's
night.
like the first time we've ever released an album and then toured on that album right after. So it was like amazing that we were done writing the album and it was getting mixed and mastered and all that stuff, and then we had like 3 months before tour to like be like, what do we want this show to look like what colors are the songs, like what is going to be on the screens, how can we interact with things on stage, like just love it. Like it's just incredible. It's like the whole point of what we do is like you finally get to go out and play the songs for people and like
Make it real,
and have this experience not only for the fans but for us too, because it's like the what we get from the crowd is just like, honestly, just it's like a high. Like it's amazing. Like, you know, it doesn't matter if you got 2 hours of sleep the night before, like you get off stage and like I could run a marathon. Not that I've ever run in my whole life.
No, me neither.
But I could watch someone run a marathon after we get off stage or something. But yeah, no, it's amazing. We're just super pumped about it.
Dude, I got chills. I'm excited for the show tonight. Thank you guys again for stopping by. Wear Your Heart Out. The tour is open. You got tickets available, and then the album is available for you to stream on the iHeartRadio app. Thanks, boys.
Dude, thank
Appreciate
you.
Peace.